Good morning, students. In our last class, we have discussed about the structure of the neuron, and also we have studied the classification of the human nervous system, that is classification of a nervous system. So, neurons are the structural as well as the functional units of the nervous systems, where here we will having the myelinated sheath is presenting, where it helpful for the quick transferring of, that means within a fraction of seconds the information is passing from body parts to the brain, brain to the body parts due to the presence of a myelinated sheaths. And unmyelinated sheaths which are presenting, it also consists of a sand cell. Here unmyelinated sheaths, unmyelinated sheaths which are presenting, which consist of the Schwann cell, which consists of the Schwann cell, Schwann cell and does not produce the myelin sheath, does not produce a myelin sheath where they are present in, present in somatic nervous system, somatic neural system, or otherwise somatic neural system, and also autonomous neural system, and also the autonomous neural system, So, in these, that means the myelinated sheaths are presenting in the cranial as well as the spinal nerves are presenting. In the unmyelinated sheaths also consist of the Schwann cell. This Schwann cell cannot able to produce the myelin sheath, but where they are presenting means these are presenting in the somatic as well as the autonomous, the nervous system. In these systems, does not having the myelinated sheaths are not be presenting, but it containing the Schwann cell. The Schwann cell is presenting wherein unmyelinated sheaths containing the Schwann cell, but they cannot able to produce the myelin sheath, that is absenting of myelin sheath, but where they are presenting means that are present in the somatic neural system as well as the autonomous, the nervous system. So, this is where we can studied, that is the structure of the neuron, very important diagrammatic for theory as well as the board exams. Here it is diagram is very important, or otherwise sometimes it asked the explain the structure of a neuron with a neat labeled a diagram. That shit is very important. So, that we have studied already, you have studied, that is in the nervous, that is tissues. In the tissues we have studied, that is detailed, you have studied the nervous tissues, that is the nervous tissue, that is structure of neuron you have studied. But later again here also I explain a brief explain of the nervous, that is a neuron I explained in the last class. Now, coming to the a classification, a brief account of a classification. So, here the neural system, human neural system is classified, human neural system is classified into two types, classified into classified into two types. It is classified into two types. One is called as that is a central nervous system, the central neural system, neural system, and the second one is the peripheral neural system, neural system. So these are the two types of the neural systems where they are presenting in our human neural system, where the central nervous system and the second one is the peripheral nervous system. And here the central nervous system will consist of, here it may consist as, it is classified into two types. One is called as the brain and the spinal cord. Here the central nervous system is classified into two types, that is called as the brain as well as the spinal cord. So these are very important organs present in a central nervous system. Why means these are helpful for the controlling and a coordination of the body is taken place with the help of the brain as well as the spinal cord. So here a brain is very important in humans. Why means due to the well development of the brain, here when compared to other mammals, here human is having a well developed that is well developed a brain is presenting, where here it controls all the activities of a nervous system. All voluntary actions are under the control of the brain only. And also here when the brain is presenting, here it shows these are in the brain consists, it is in a consciousness. When you are in consciousness means the brain is in a working a condition. It is represents where it controls and coordinate. It controlling and coordinate all other parts of the body that are controlling, that is due to the presence of a brain as well as the spinal cord. And next, second one is a peripheral nervous system. Here in a peripheral nervous system, here it consists of, it is divided, majorly it is divided into a functional and anatomically as well as functionally. It is divided into two types. Here it is divided into anatomically it is divided into two types, that is they are presenting in the form of the efferent nerves as well as efferent nerves and as well as the efferent the nerves. So here it consists of in a peripheral nervous system will consist of anatomically, it is classified into two types. One is efferent nerves as well as an efferent nerves, or otherwise we can call them as these are also called as the sensory nerves. This is called as a sensory nerve, and also these are called as the motor nerve. So here these are classified, that is anatomically these are classified where that is an efferent nerves, or we can call that as sensory nerves, and second one is efferent nerves, or called as sensory nerves. Efferent nerves, or otherwise you can call them as the motor nerves. So what are that now will be discussed. So here coming to this that is an efferent nerves, and second one is an efferent the nerves. So here the mistake is taken place here in last I told the efferent means that are called as the motor nerves I said, but here the efferent means these are the sensory nerves. These are sensory nerves. These are sensory nerves. And the efferent means these are the motor nerves. So here we will having that is the efferent as well as an efferent means these are the sensory nerves, and efferent means motor nerves. So efferent nerves means or sensory nerves means the nerves which carries information from the from body parts to the brain. That means the nerves which carries information from body parts body parts to the brain, then such type of nerves are called as an efferent nerves, or otherwise they are called as the sensory nerves. So what are sensory nerves means or efferent nerves means? These are the nerves which carries information from body parts to the brain. If the information is passing, then such type of nerves are called as the efferent nerves or sensory nerves. And the efferent, here efferent and efferent nerves or motor nerves. Here what are this means? The nerves which carries information from brain to the body parts, from brain to the body parts, then such type of nerves are called as an efferent nerves, or otherwise they are called as the motor nerves. So here there are two type of nerves, and also here in the peripheral nervous system anatomically which are presenting, these are consisting of the brain and spinal nerves. It consists of the brain as well as the the spinal nerves are also consist of the brain nerves. That is brain nerves. Brain nerves, or otherwise they are called as cranial nerves. They are called as the cranial nerves and also the spinal nerves. So here there are two type of, not only the efferent and efferent or sensory or motor nerves not only presenting, along with this these consist of the both the cranial nerves as well as the spinal nerves. Cranial nerves means the nerves which are arise from the brain are called as that means the nerves which are arise from the brain are called as the cranial nerves. So there are 12 pairs of the cranial nerves are presenting. It consists of 12 pairs of cranial nerves are presenting in our body. And the spinal nerves, the nerves which are arise, which arise from spinal cord, from the spinal cord are called as the spinal nerves. So there are 33 pairs of spinal nerves are presenting. How many are presenting means here in a brain here cranial nerves will having the cranial nerves, the nerves which are arise from the brain are called as the cranial nerves. Why means here cranium means brain, or why you call as a cranium means brain is protected by a specialized box that is called as a cranial box. The brain is protected by a specialized box that is called as a cranium. So, due to the presence of the cranial box, here the brain is also called as a cranium, or otherwise we can call them as a craniatus also. Why human or mammalian's brain is called as a craniata means due to the presence of a brain is protected by a specialized box. That specialized box, the specialized box is called as a cranial box. Cranial box. So, due to the presence of them, they are called as the craniatus. They are also called as the craniata. So, here the nerves which are arise from the brain are called as cranial nerves or brain nerves, or otherwise here 12 pairs of cranial nerves are presenting, and the nerves which are arise from the spinal cord are called as the spinal nerves, where it having a 33 pairs of the cranial, that is the 33 pairs of the spinal nerves are presenting. And coming to the functionally, here the peripheral nervous system, the neural system is classified into two types. One is called as the somatic neural system, and the second one is the autonomous neural system. So, we are having the somatic neural system as well as the autonomous. That is an autonomic nervous system, where here the somatic nervous system is connected from information from body parts. That means all voluntary actions are under the control of the somatic neural system. So, what is that now will be discussed. So, here the somatic neural system will relays the information, from central nervous system to skeletal muscles. So, here they carry the relay impulse information from a central nervous system to the skeletal system. It carries the skeletal system, where the autonomous nervous system will carry the information, that means carries an impulse from central nervous system to the involuntary organs, from central nervous system to the internal organs, to central nervous system to involuntary organs, central nervous system to the involuntary to the organs and smooth muscles. So, here the information is passing, that means carries information from central nervous system to involuntary organs, that means which are organs internally they are presenting, they are involuntary, that means involuntary information is carrying. Involuntary means they are not under the control of the brain or a spinal cord. So, and also they carries impulse to the smooth muscles also. So such type of system is called as the autonomous the nervous system. And this autonomous nervous system, again it is classified into two types. One is called as the sympathetic neural system, sympathetic neural system, and second one is the parasympathetic neural system. It is carrying. So here sympathetic and parasympathetic, they both are an alternate. That means they both are having an opposite functions are taken place. For example, a sympathetic nervous system will increase the heartbeat. Sympathetic nervous system is increase the heartbeat, and the parasympathetic will helpful for the decrease the heartbeat. So they are opposite in a direction. So such type of systems are called as a sympathetic as well as the parasympathetic, where they are involuntary in functions. They are not under the control of the brain or a spinal cord. So they are involuntary in a function. So such type of system is called as the autonomous neural system. This is where the classification of the human neural system. Next, coming to the central nervous system. So here in the central neural system, or otherwise central nervous system, here we will having the central nervous system. So here in the central nervous system, it consists of the brain. It consists of the brain and the spinal cord. It consists of the brain as well as the spinal cord. So these are the two important organs which are presenting. These are the two important organs which are present in the central nervous system, where this central nervous system will consisting of both voluntary as well as an involuntary actions are involuntary actions are taken place, where the voluntary means these are under the control of the brain as well as the spinal cord, or otherwise involuntary, these are not under the control of the brain or spinal cord. So they are having both the functions of the voluntary. It performs the both functions of the voluntary and also an involuntary in functions. They are involuntary. That means here voluntary means, for example, these are helpful for these are attached to the muscles, that is striated muscles. So that is taken place with the help of a voluntary actions. And involuntary, here they also connected with a smooth muscles also. So here not only smooth muscles, they are connected with different organs where they are involuntary in functions are taken place. So here it performs the both functions, that as voluntary as well as involuntary. Voluntary means these are under the control of a brain. They are controlling of the brain are called as voluntary actions, and involuntary actions means not controlling, they are not under the control of a brain. Then such type of actions are called as an involuntary actions. And here brain is a very important organ, where it is a vision, it helpful for the vision, as well as mainly that is helpful for an intelligence Here, mainly in the form of intelligence as well as heat of intelligence as well as thirsty and hungry, and all activities are under the control of the brain. So here it is a controlling unit of the body. The brain is the a controlling unit. It is a controlling unit of a nervous system or a neural system. It is a controlling unit where it controls and coordinate all the functions of the body that will be taken place. So here the brain is a controlling unit of the neural system, and here the brain is protected by the brain and spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord is protected by the skull. It is protected by a skull, and also it is protected by a skull and also the vertebral column. So here the brain is protected by a specialized skull. So here the brain is protected by skull and vertebral column. Not only protected by skull and vertebral column, here the brain is also protected by other three protective layers. There are three protective layers. They are the three protective layers are presenting along with the brain and spinal cord. That three protective layers are, one is called as the meninges. Such is called as the meninges. The second one is called as the cerebrospinal fluid. The cerebrospinal fluid. It is a cerebrospinal fluid, and the third one is the gray and the white matter. The gray and the white matter. The gray and the white matter. These are the three types of the coverings. Not only protected by the skull and vertebral column, these are other additional protective layers are presenting. That additional protective layers which are presenting that are the meninges, and second one is the cerebrospinal fluid, and the third one is the gray as well as the white matter. So these are the three protective layers. So here the brain is protected, brain and spinal cord is protected by, the brain is protected by skull, and the spinal cord is protected by a vertebral column. So here the brain is protected by skull. That skull is called as the specialized box. That skull is called as the cranial box. It is called as the cranial box. So here the brain is protected by a skull. That skull is made up of a specialized box-like structure. That specialized box-like structure which is presenting we can call as the cranial box. So due to the presence of the brain is protected by a specialized box that is called as a cranial box or a skull. Here it is called as the craniators. So due to the presence of a specialized box that is called as the craniator. So here the mammalians is also called as the craniates. The mammalians including the humans are also called as the craniates. Why they are called as craniates means, or craniata means, the brain is protected by a specialized box called as a cranial box or the skull. So due to this here the mammalians are also called as the craniators or craniates. Craniates means brain is protected by a specialized box. Due to this here humans or mammals are also called as the craniates also. And here not only the spinal cord is protected by a vertebral column, that means inside the vertebral column it passes where it protects the vertebral column will protect the spinal cord. So here these are the two important organs. I means the brain as well as the spinal cord. So here all reflex reactions are under the control of the spinal cord, and the all the voluntary or involuntary actions are under the control of the brain. Once the brain is damaged, means here the organisms may leads to the a death, or sometimes it may leads to the an unconsciousness, where it goes to the coma conditions also. That is mainly due to the brain and spinal cord. Not only protecting that, the additional protective layers are presenting, that additional protective layers which are presenting, they are called as one is called as the meninges, the second one is called as cerebrospinal fluid, and the third one is called as the gray as well as the white matter. So what are that? Now will be discussed the one by one. Now coming to the first one, that is a meninges, where the meninges, these are the an outer covering, these are the and outer coverings, these are the and outer coverings of the brain and spinal cord, brain and spinal cord. So these are the outer coverings of both. That means these three coverings will be present in both a brain as well as the spinal cord also. These three structures, that means the three coverings are presenting. So here these are the outer covering of brain and spinal cord, where this meninges is differentiated, it is divided, it is differentiated, it is differentiated into three regions, So such three regions, first one is called as a dura mater, and the second one is called as a subarachnoid membrane, and the third one is called as the pia mater. The third one is called as the pia mater, where this is the three regions which are differentiate the meninges. So one is a dura mater. Dura mater means it is an outermost layer, a tough connective tissue. It is an outermost tough connective tissue. Tough connective tissue, we can call that as a dura mater. So it is an outermost region which is surrounded by the meninges. So that outermost layer which is surrounded by the meninges, and it is a tough connective tissue, you can call as a dura mater. And the arachnoid membrane, second one, it is the middle layer. It is the middle layer which is presenting between outer dura mater and inner pia mater, and the space which is separated by the dura mater and arachnoid membrane is called as the space. That means the membrane which separates the membrane which separates the dura mater and arachnoid membrane, dura mater and arachnoid membrane is called as a subdural space, is called as a a subdural space is called as, that means the membrane which separates the dural matter and organoid membrane we can call as subdural space, and here the membrane which separates the pia matter is called as a suborganoid the space, that is called as the membrane which separates the membrane which separates the pia matter, organoid membrane and the pia matter is called a suborganoid space. So here it consisting, it is a middle region, that is the middle layer of the meninges is called as suborganoid space or suborganoid membrane, where here it separates dura matter to organoid membrane is called as subdural space, and the membrane which separates the organoid and the pia matter is called as suborganoid space. And the third one, here the pia matter, this is it is an innermost region, it is an innermost region of the meninges, it is an innermost region of the meninges which is a vascularized layer, layer, and also here it consists of the ventricles. Here ventricles means the cavities present in brain, in a brain and spinal cord. So that cavities which are present in brain are called as the ventricles. So here these ventricles also will be covered by the pia matter, where here will having the first ventricle is open into second, the second is open into third, and third ventricle is open into the fourth ventricle. So the ventricle which opens, the second ventricle is open into the third ventricle, we can call as a diocele, and the third ventricle which open into the fourth ventricle by a passage called as an aorta. So this is where not only covering inner membrane of the brain and spinal cord, here it consists of the ventricles also covered by the pia matter will be covered, the ventricles which are present in a brain as well as the spinal cord. So these are the three types of the meninges where they are presenting, that is dura matter, suborganoid membrane, and the third one is the pia matter. And coming to the second one, that is a cerebrospinal fluid. So next second one is the cerebrospinal fluid, or otherwise it is also called as the liquor cerebrospinalis. Liquor means a liquid like a substance which is presenting in the brain as well as the spinal cord. So that liquor means a fluid like a structure. It is a fluid like or a jelly like, or it is a fluid or a jelly like, or otherwise we can call a liquid like a substance, which is presenting in between the brain as well as the spinal cord, present between brain and spinal cord, present between the brain and spinal cord. So here you can call that as the cerebrospinal fluid, in the name only indicating the fluid which is present in the brain and a spinal cord. So this fluid we can call as the cerebrospinal fluid, or otherwise it is called as a liquor cerebrospinalis, where this cerebrospinal fluid in our body, it consists of 150 ml of the cerebrospinal fluid is presenting. A cerebrospinal fluid in our body. Here it consists of the cerebrospinal fluid is presenting, where this 150 ml of cerebrospinal fluid which is presenting, it is an alkaline in nature. It is in an alkaline in nature. It is in an alkaline in nature, and it consists of the glucose. It consists of glucose and the salts, and also the excretory waste materials. The waste materials. It consists of the glucose, salts, and also the excretory waste materials are presenting in the cerebrospinal fluid. And here the coming to the functions of the cerebrospinal fluid. So here it performs the three functions, where here first one it acts as a shock absorber. It acts as a shock absorber. That means here it is helpful for the shock absorption. It prevents the pressure of the skull as well as the vertebrates. So it acts as a shock and absorber, and also here it gives a frictionless moments. Here second one is it gives a frictionless moments. It gives a frictionless moments will be given. And the third one, here it acts as that means here it performs, it acts as the providing food materials. It acts as the providing food materials, and the providing food materials and oxygen, and also acts as the excretory products, and also acts as the excretory organ also, or excretory an organ, where it excretes the waste materials and also along with the carbon dioxide, and also it helpful for exchanging of materials. Here it helpful in the exchanging of the materials. It helpful in the exchanging of materials. So here it helpful for the exchanging materials, such as giving food materials to the brain, as well as here not only on providing oxygen for the brain, and also it acts as an excretory an organ, where it excrete the carbon dioxide as well as the waste materials which are secreted, that will be excreted by the brain. That's so it acts as an exchanging materials, where it provides food materials, exchanging materials, and excretory and organs which is acting. So these are the three functions which is performed by the cerebrospinal fluid. One is it acts as a shock absorber, which prevents the pressure from the skull and also the vertebral column, and also it gives a frictionless moments, and also acts as exchanging of materials, providing food materials and providing oxygen, and also excretory waste materials that is excreted from the brain in the form of brain barriers. So these are the three functions which is performed by the cerebrospinal fluid, or otherwise you can call as liquor cerebrospinalis, where you are having the 150 ml of cerebrospinal fluid is presenting. So here it is in an alkaline in nature. So this is a second one, that is the cerebrospinal fluid. Now coming to the third one, that is a gray as well as the white matter. Now coming to the third one, that is a gray as well as the white matter. So here gray matter means here the gray matter, So here gray matter means here it consists of the dendrites and the cyton. Dendrites and the cyton. It consists of the dendrites and the cyton. In the cyton, it consists of a nucleus. The nucleus is in a gray in color. The nucleus is a gray in color. So due to the presence of the cyton, in cyton, the nucleus which is presenting color of the gray is a gray in color. So here this matter we can call as the gray matter, where it consists of the dendrites as well as the cyton. In the cyton, the nucleus which is presenting here, it consists of the nucleus which is presenting, it is a gray in color. Due to the presence of gray in color, this matter we can call as the gray matter. And here the white matter, So in the white matter, here it consists of the myelinated. It consists of a myelinated and axons. So these myelinated axons are myelinated axons are white in color. These are the myelinated axons are white in color. So due to the presence of white in color, the myelinated, that is non-myelinated as well as myelinated axons are presenting. So due to the presence of myelinated or non-myelinated axons, these are in a white in color. So due to the presence of white in color, this matter it is called as the white matter. So these are the two matters, that is white matter and a gray matter. Gray matter, why you can call as gray matter, means the nucleus in the cyton, the nucleus which is presenting, it is a gray in color. Due to the presence of gray in color, this matter we can call as a gray matter. And the white matter means here it consists of a myelinated or non-myelinated axons are presenting, where these myelinated or non-myelinated axons are white in color. So due to the presence of these white in color, it is called as the white matter. So here in a brain, if you see in a brain, here in brain the gray matter will occupies the gray matter is an surface area will occupies the surface area, that is outer surface. It is called as an outer surface. So here the gray matter in brain, the gray matter will be a surface will occupies the surface area or gray outer surface, and white matter is in inner cover. White matter is an inner surface. It is presenting in inner area or inner surface. Here it is presenting in inner surface. It is presenting. So here the gray matter will be in brain. The gray matter will be occupies the surface area or otherwise our outer surface, and white matter will presenting inner surface or inner. It consists of the white matter or inner area or inner surface, that is presenting in a brain. But in a spinal cord, here the gray matter, is an outer surface. Here gray matter is inner surface area, It occupies inner surface area, and white matter white matter is occupies the surface area or an outer surface. So here these are opposite in a direction. So in a brain, the gray matter will be occupies outer surface area and a white matter is present inner surface area. But in a spinal cord, the gray matter will occupies inner surface area and white matter will occupies an outer surface area. This is where occupies in the brain as well as the spinal cord. So this is the two matters, that is a gray as well as the white matters. So that is presenting, that means in brain and spinal cord these are in opposite direction. That means in brain the gray matter will be occupy surface area and white matter is inner surface area, and in a spinal cord the gray matter will be an inner surface area, it is present inner surface area, and it occupies the white matter will be in a surface area or outer surface it is presenting. So these are the three types of the coverings which is protected by the brain as well as the spinal cord in the central nervous system or central neural system, that is covered by the brain as well as spinal cord. Not only covering the skull and vertebrae, here additional coverings also presenting, that additional coverings such as we can call as three coverings. One is called as meninges, and second one is called as cerebrospinal fluid, and the third one is called as the gray as well as the white matters. So in a next class that will be discussed, that is a structure of the brain that will be discussed. That is, here structure of the brain will be differentiated into three regions. Here one is called as forebrain, midbrain as well as hindbrain, and also we have to discuss the functions of the brain, that is the forebrain, midbrain as well as the hindbrain, and different regions which are presenting that will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.